There's also this stigma, right? Like when people ultimately face issues and challenges, right? And this we were talking about children and the issues they face. As we go to the next generation, the parents are facing another mental, strengths and health at work, right? There's a senior citizen in the house who's facing, similar issues, right? So it's across the spectrum that the responses are different. The way you do it, of course, some of the aspects we have touched today, will cut across, all of this. But talking about it, how do we overcome the stigma, right, with society and others? Because when there's a physical challenge, everybody accepts it, right? Okay, he's got a fracture or this, but when it comes to a mental issue, even I think as a society, we are not as accepting. We are not as open and vocal about it. How have you seen that happen? And
So I did share somewhere that 30 years ago, if I was invited for a marriage, nobody would come and talk to a psychiatrist.
Oh, really?
25 years ago, they would say, my uncle, my father. It was not uncle and my father, it's themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
And now they come and talk to you openly. That's at one level.
Change.
Yeah. Second, I would advise all parents to share feelings and believe that locked minds are time bombs. Express early, lest you explode later.
Yeah, yeah.
And also Indians have this habit, समय से सब कुछ अच्छा हो जाएगा. Heart attack, no समय, go to the ICU. Time is not always the best healer. And the fourth experiment which I see many colleges are doing is involving young boys and girls in providing caregiver support for the mentally ill. So I'm going to train a group of young boys and girls to go into the houses of the mentally ill and give them time and care. So when you actually indoctrinate, inculcate care towards the mentally ill, care towards the distressed very early as a scientific activity and a social activity with spiritual things, it will break the stigma much earlier. One more experiment which we are doing across time, we should do it in your industry, sir, known as mental health checkups. And what happens to the mental checkup? You make it a fun activity. We did it in a sports complex, we do it in our schools. I have proposed it to Western Railways and they will do it, and other housing colonies. When there's a mental checkup, there's no mental ilaj, no treatment. The balloons, there's fun, there's music, and people come and say, let's do a mental checkup. It breaks stigma, it creates awareness, it creates bonding, it identifies early risk, it prevents suicide, and also improves the wellness quotient of the family, the occupational function of the family, and educational aspects of children. So we have to hold it by the jugular. Many people come and say, Dr. Shetty, ये mental word हटा दो. मैंने कहा no, उसको fashionable बनाओ. Why should you remove the word mental? First, evolution starts from the top. Stigma breaks. Kids, all the kids will go and do their checkups automatically. I have written to the Prime Minister of India, I've written an article that if you want to break stigma, have a mental checkup in the parliament where you guys start. If Modi ji took a vaccine, everybody took a vaccine. So I think opinion makers, change makers, leaders from all fields should say, please do my mental checkup, stigma breaks.